Hello again everybody, and welcome to the fourth video of my Linux command tutorial series. And in this video I'm going to demonstrate the touch command. And thankfully this command is really easy to learn, so you should have no problem with this one whatsoever. So as you can see in my command window here, I'm underneath a folder called test inside my home directory, as you can see from the path here. Now if I do ls-l, you can see that I created 5 files here, and I created them for the sake of demonstrating the touch command and what it does. So if basically what the touch command does is it'll either update the modification time of a file, or if the file that you're referencing doesn't exist, it'll create it. So for example, if I type the word touch, then I type test6, just like that, and do another directory listing. Now you'll see I have a test6 file here. And you see here that it's all zeros all the way down. That's because I created all these files with the touch command. And the touch command creates a completely empty file with nothing in it whatsoever. So you could even create a file with a file extension if you wanted to. So for example, touch test7.txt. And now you see that I have the test7.txt file here, and that's a very useful command if you want to just create a file but you actually don't want to modify it yet. But that's not the only thing that the touch command is useful for, and I'd argue that the next thing that it does is even more useful. If you type the touch command against a file that already exists, so say for example the test file here, and now I do another directory listing, you'll see that the modification time of the test file was updated. So basically I created the file at 3:36 p.m. as you see here, but when I typed the touch command against it, it updated the file modification time, but that doesn't actually modify the file at all. So it's very useful if you want to update the file modification time of a file but you don't actually want to change anything. And you might think, well, why would that be useful? I'll give you an example that I ran into recently. I use a program called SpiderOak, and what that does is it's a cloud backup program, but it also allows you to synchronize files between computers. And I had a file that was corrupted, and I had an earlier version of that file in a backup from somewhere. So, excuse me, what I did was I replaced the corrupted file with the correct file. Now because the correct file had an older modification time, SpiderOak constantly tried to use the newer file, the newer corrupted file. So every time I would replace the newer corrupted file with the older correct file, SpiderOak would just delete it and replace it with the newer corrupted one. So to trick it, what I did was I got the correct file and I ran the touch command against it, so that way it would have the most recent file modification time. And it worked. It tricked SpiderOak into using the file that I wanted it to use, and I no longer had to worry about SpiderOak constantly putting the wrong file back into my folder. So I guess with backup programs you might use a touch command quite a bit, but it definitely can be useful, especially in scripts, and we'll get to scripting I'm sure in a much later video. But the touch command was an easy command to teach you, so I just thought I'd throw that in there. And just a quick overview, typing the touch command and a file name creates that file, and then typing it against a file that already exists updates the modification time, as you can see in the output here. And that's it, that's all it is. So now you know how to use the touch command. So with that said, please subscribe to my channel and I will be uploading the next video soon. Until then, thanks for watching.